Hi, Diane. Good.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. It's great
Diane Doyle podcast.
there you go. It's great to be here at Mobile Tech Expo. It's so epic actually seeing everybody instead of being on Zoom or Skype or whatever the heck we've been doing. It's been long overdue.
Yes.
So women are taking the industry by storm. And so I decided it was time to hijack the Rennie Doyle podcast and have it be all girls. So, woo woo. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to start by everybody introducing yourselves. So we'll just start down on this end and go from there.
Hey guys, my name's Marcella. I'm one half of East Coast Custom Detailing out of Graniteville, South Carolina.
I'm Christabel Londano out of New Hampshire. My company's Cardigo Eco Detailing.
And I am Sydney Gwynn, and I own iWash Auto Detailing in Boise, Idaho, and I'm also a brand ambassador for P&S Detail Products.
My name is Jessica Rook. I'm from Okemos, Michigan. I am the owner of Final Approach Detailing.
My name is Robin Sweet from Chatham, New York, owner, operator of the Detail Lab, and I'm super excited to be here. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. Well, this was so hard because there are so many amazing women now in the industry. To just be able to pick 5, it was quite honestly awful because there's so many great women out there. To not be able to have the whole pack of us up here showing our numbers and showing our pride with it. It's just so happy to have you. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I've got some questions that I'm going to go through, and we're going to have everybody kind of chime in. If you have something awesome to say it. If it's not so awesome, just don't open your mouth. No, I'm teasing. It's all good. All right. So we talk about, women detailers, men detailers. It's so frustrating to me because it shouldn't have to be segregated like that.
Yeah.
And so it just goes to ask, though, what can and are women doing in this industry to try and change that tone? What is our end goal? We just don't want to be looked at as just women. Help me out here.
I think a big thing, especially with me, I grew up hanging out with my boy cousins, so it's like just being one of the guys, I felt way more comfortable coming into this community, especially with you and Sydney when I met y'all. You guys were so welcoming, like just open arms, like, hey girl, how you doing? I'm so glad I got to meet you. And that was a big thing. Like, I hate to say it this way, we're not bitchy girls. Like, we're all open. We're all super soft-hearted. So I feel like that's a big part of it. And just feeling included. Like, nobody ever makes us feel any different.
I think doing things like this, getting together and really having a voice within our industry is a big important part of it. Last night we watched the first woman cross the stage for our IDA banquet, be inducted into that Hall of Fame, and that was inspiring for me to see. I look forward to more opportunities like that. I hope eventually we see one woman walk that stage every single year, and I think that just continuing to do things like this and share that with the males that are in this industry, that we are here to stay, and we want to be your counterparts, not something that's pushed to the side.
And I think it really comes down to how you view yourself, and like Marcel was saying, how you were grown up, how you were raised, hanging out with the boys. If you don't see that separation, you don't feel that separation. If you just put yourself out there, regardless of your men, women, it doesn't matter. You will fit in wherever you want to fit in.
Yeah. And I think that's the same for me. I think it's just, and it was something that I personally had to overcome, was just standing up and being proud of the industry and proud of the work that I do. And, just making ourselves known and, giving ourselves a voice in the industry and, just being proud about it. And same, I don't want to be any different, but, just putting ourselves out there so that others see that it's great to put yourself forward. And, we've been here the whole time. I don't think that it's, anything new for women to be in the industry. I think there's been women in the industry the whole time. And so, just making our presence known, which
if anything more, there's a little bit more spotlight.
Yeah,
women now,
definitely.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
And just being more comfortable in, being proud of what we do.
I'm so excited to see women actually doing the work
Mhm.
instead of being a booth enhancer.
Yes.
We've got
Yes.
so much to offer,
Yes.
and to be stuffed in that box
Mhm.
is it always I love to watch. You know,
Yes.
Sydney's in the booth all the time, and it's so cool to watch now, because it used to, when the guys would come up, they'd look at the girl
Yeah.
and then they'd go over and talk to the guy.
Right.
Now the girls
Mhm.
have so much information. I've
Yeah.
seen a change
Yes.
in how they're being
Yes. They almost
respected
seek
and-
us out for the
Yeah.
information. Yes.
right.
They feel the passion from us too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they
Mhm.
we're passionate about it. We can have a great conversation in depth, not just talking about maybe our product or a technique or the skills that we have.
Yeah.
It's passion. It's love
Yeah.
for what we're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can actually tell you the chemical makeup of something, not, oh, it's pink. Okay, so
Smells good.
Smells good.
be
They do.
bigger.
They do smell good.
I mean,
They really.
I think once we start talking about anything detail related, they're like, okay, she knows.
Yep.
She
Mhm.
knows.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like, take my keys. Like, I get it. Some people don't even want to know all of that stuff.
You've got this. Here,
Yeah.
here's my
They're like,
keys.
okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, what do you feel as far as what do you feel females bring to the industry that our male counterparts might be missing? What
DNA.
boat are they missing out?
No, I'm just
You had to go there, Christabel.
just
Here we go. We're trying to push that under the rug. No, what's some good?
Chris
Well-
likes to call it the woman's eye. I feel like that's a big thing, because with our customers, he'll have me double check the car, and I'm double checking for what those rude women are looking for, that
Mhm.
spot, that makeup smudge, that everything.
that little mirror.
The vanity
exactly,
mirror.
the vanity
Yeah.
mirror, or little things, like he didn't realize how caked up makeup gets on the little knobs, and it's crazy because he'll be like, well, go over it, and I'm like, well, you got this here and this here, and he's like, oh,
behind the
oh yeah,
headrest.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, behind the headrest, get all the hairs that get pulled out,
Why are there hairs behind the headrest? Never mind. I didn't ask that.
I don't know.
It's not that kind of podcast, Diane.
I don't know what happens in her car.
Yeah, no lie. What do you think?
I try to think about it as maybe a wife's perspective when she's
Mhm.
getting in her husband's pickup truck and they're going out to dinner or something, and she's in that seat and she's looking around and trying to find what maybe was missed. Or
Yeah.
oh, they didn't do this. And so I kind of look at it that perspective, and that's not segregating men or women, but it's that woman is going to be looking at my work, and I
Mhm.
want to provide the best. And even if there is no woman involved,
Yeah.
I'm always going to give that top-notch
Yep.
quality and those little finer details.
Mhm.
I think on the customer service side, we see it as well. I think that sometimes it can go to heart when it's a male to male interaction, and there may be something that they're picking out. And for a woman, I was in on Justin Lovato's training earlier in the week, and he said it himself. He said those ladies can walk in and just look at him and smile, and being able to have that interaction side of things, and not take things personal, and put the hormones and testosterone and all that stuff aside. At the end of the day, it's a business, and that's something that I think we do quite well. as
Well,
ladies.
one of the things that I think is interesting, with it being such a male-dominated industry, there's so many of your customers are what?
Male.
Female.
Oh,
Female.
females.
They're
Ours, yeah.
females.
Yeah.
Most of your customers are going to be female, and so it really is a neat thing to see. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Yeah.
deal with this all the
Yeah.
time.
Yep. Another thing I think that we bring to the industry that I see a lot on my end is just with the education that we provide. Even if we're just being a mentor to another detailer, I get a lot of calls, and the feedback is always like, thank you for talking to me. You just have a much softer side, and I feel like I can be honest about, if they're talking about they're not comfortable with doing this or that, and they want to ask about a process, I think they just feel safer with women to be able to say, this is what my challenge is, because maybe with other men, they feel like they're going to be judged or the ego is going to come into play. So I think that's something that we bring to the industry, is just a softness on the side of being able to be real and ask real questions. And so it's funny how often I get that from other men, and they'll call and say, do you mind chatting with me about this? And I think they reach out to me just because they know that I'm going to be a bit soft with them and not Are you stupid?
What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, when we were putting together this podcast, we really want to be able to build women up and have women feel more comfortable. But I think in this instance, it's one of those things that the guys really need to take note of, because there's so much that they can learn from us. It doesn't have to be about the ego. That's one of the things with the females that I just don't see as much as with the males. The ego is not driving us like it does. I mean, I'm sure it's hormonal on their end. But
I think with this panel, even it's a love it or leave it.
Yeah.
If you like me and you like my results, my products,
Absolutely.
yeah. And if you don't, you move on.
Yeah.
And we're not heartbroken by that.
Yeah.
And
we don't
it's
get
about
butthurt.
respect, mostly.
Yes.
And that happens, whether you're a guy or a girl, but when you know what you know, that's what should matter.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The whole woman's worth. We know our worth. And,
Yeah.
and we can stand for that.
Yeah.
Well, before Robin and I were talking, and we were talking about, the confidence of it, being confident in what you do and how you present yourself. We were talking, the TNA of, what we're facing, the confidence and being able to be beautiful women and still know your stuff and to be able to push that forward and make your clients feel comfortable. That's something that the guys should really take from us.
Yeah.
Well,
For sure.
Would I want my husband taking my car to the bikini car wash?
No, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It used to be like when you'd go to these shows, those booths, you'd see the wives and, they would be steering the guys away from those booths.
Yeah.
And the people that were, enhancing those booths should have taken note of that, because they honestly, sales, everything gets impacted. And the women of the families, they're the ones that are taking the cars to the, to get done. They're making a lot of the money purchasing choices.
How many times do we hear, let me ask my wife?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And so
I think there's something to be said with there's beauty and confidence.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I think we all radiate that.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way with everyone standing here watching this,
Yep.
everyone watching the podcast live today,
Yep.
every one of our clients
Yep.
and the husbands of those and
Yeah.
the wives of those, beauty and confidence. And
Yep.
we're not pushing anything. We are just ourselves.
Yeah.
And everyone
Sharing.
loves it.
be who you are. Yeah, no, for sure. What are some of the challenges you faced, being in this industry that's obviously predominantly male? What are some of the challenges? I'd like to actually hit everybody on this one. We'll start down with Marcella.
I honestly have not had any challenges whatsoever. Every male that's around me has been nothing but supportive. Our friends, our family, Chris, like everybody around me. That was kind of like a hard question because I really haven't. Like even our customers, the male customers, they love it. They'll come talk to me before they come talk to Chris if they see us outside working. So it's like I still haven't faced that yet, but everything about this has been amazing. So
Do you think that it could possibly be the groundwork that we're all doing? Maybe it's starting to work.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
exactly. And then like with our female clients too, I kind of break it down to them like they're getting their nails done. So I'm on a level with them where they're understanding, and it's helped out a lot.
Christabel.
For me, the hard thing is like when you're cleaning the front windshield and you beep so many times that, I have a hard time with that all the time.
Maybe a sports bra.
Like maybe two.
It just happens. I don't know. I mean, I don't have long arms. But, other than that, it's just like I said, like once I start talking, then it's like, okay, I get it. But yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, maybe you watched YouTube and now you think you can detail. I mean, they don't know. But that's actually why I go kind of to the lengths that I do, trying to prove myself more and more, do training like I did with you guys, the IDA, getting certified, all of those things. Like the more I know, the more I can educate my customer, and they trust me and they believe in me because I believe in myself. Like
Yeah,
I
you-
know what I know.
You have the certifications.
Mhm.
You've gone the extra mile
Yeah.
to better yourself, and that comes across for sure.
And that's like all of us here. you know?
Absolutely. For sure.
So my biggest challenge has honestly been myself. I, like Marcella, have not had really any challenges with men accepting me in this industry. It was more me accepting me in this industry. For years I felt like I was the odd one out when I really wasn't giving it a chance. So honestly, for me, it's been me.
Don't you feel like sometimes that is such a cool point? Any minority,
Mhm.
A lot of times you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not that it doesn't happen,
Right. Yeah.
but you get to the point where you're expecting people
Right.
to do something,
Yeah.
and they're that's not who they are, and that's huge.
I have experienced challenges on a couple sides. I've experienced it on the customer interaction side. Unfortunately, there still are some people out there that see your sex and have a certain opinion of you coming right in, and I'm very confident in my ability to share versus sell, and so typically once I start having that conversation with the individual, they understand that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not blowing something out of it or trying to sell them on something that my husband's going to do in the back. I certainly am able to kind of bring that down, but there have been interactions where that has been the start of our conversation. There have also been clients that I've turned away for that reason. We just had one within the last couple of weeks that unfortunately, it just wasn't our client. And I'm in a position in my business where I can say, you know what, I don't think we're going to be the greatest provider for you. And here's a recommendation for someone else.
Starting out, even because your business is very solid. For the people that are brand new and starting out, even when you're at that point in your business, there's some clients you just don't want.
Yep.
Right.
And so even if you're solid in your business, as a new entrepreneur, a new business owner,
It's
kind of
okay to say
filtering some of the silt out isn't such a bad thing.
Not at all.
Absolutely.
That goes back to knowing your worth, and
Exactly.
standing for that.
Mhm.
So
And portraying it to everybody out there. You're not going to get the customers that you don't want, the clients that are the creepy old men, because you're the woman they're coming to see.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I haven't had any struggles, and I don't know if I'm blessed or if I kind of put that out there myself, but it's worked.
I think you saying that, putting that out there, I think you're onto something, because we don't have to be anybody but ourselves, and goes back to being confident. If you're confident, that's no, for sure. What advice would you give to females coming in?
Boy, don't stand in your own way.
Yeah.
Do it. Just go for it. Absolutely. Don't let anybody or any forum or any comments that you might read look beyond that. Look into yourself. If you're passionate and you want to give it a shot, absolutely give it a try. And surround yourself with those people that are willing to support you the way we're supporting one another sitting here talking about it. That's key. Find
You're
the
not
right
alone.
people.
Yeah.
Align yourself with those people that you want to be like.
yeah, there are so many women that have paved the way for us, and being able to recognize that and seek those individuals out, find those mentors, and don't be afraid to reach out. I mean, I know at any given moment I could reach out to Diane next to me, and whether it be a personal or professional challenge that I'm facing, I know that she would be able to provide me that direction. And there are so many women in this industry that can do that. So don't be afraid to know your resources.
Mine's kind of the same. I know a lot of you know my story, and I was alone for several years, didn't have any mentors, didn't know there was a detail industry. So kind of the same, just, find your people, and, just go after all your goals and believe, and just go for it.
Yeah. Take the leap.
Yep.
Yes, to be.
I mean, I think it's a lot about confidence, because that makes you more likely to take a risk and not really think so much about it. even if you don't do it right the first time, at least you tried it and you're going to learn what to do. Like, it's kind of practice makes almost perfect.
Be vulnerable too.
Yeah.
You know,
And
you-
you either find a mentor or someone near you, and if not, get training. Like, because I was self-taught for like 8 years, and I did my first training was with Mike Phillips at AutoGeek, and then after I trained with you guys. And I wish I would have done that from the beginning. I would have saved like all of those years of trial and error and like buying products and a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I would have saved time and money.
Time and money. I mean, that's huge.
And it's a confidence booster. Like,
Mhm.
these are people that know what they're doing, and they're telling you if you're doing it right or wrong and how to do it.
And that goes for the male. I mean, we're obviously aiming this at the females, but for you males out there, it's the same thing. Education, mentoring, you've got to put yourself out there. And I think it's easier for a woman to put themselves out there,
Mhm.
because we don't have some of the constraints that the guys do, that the ego and the pressures.
Yeah.
I think it is and it isn't, because we have to juggle so many things. All right, we're going to go to training. We need to find a babysitter. We need to spend that money and fly out and stay somewhere. And a guy is like, all right, my wife got the kids, usually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Usually. But so in that way, we do have to try a little bit harder and get so many things put together just so we can do something for ourselves.
They talk about, women multitasking versus men, and the family and the kids. If the kid gets sick and there's, a husband and wife, who has to take off work to go get the kids? It's normally the female. The society's expectations of what's expected of a female versus a man, we're already climbing an uphill battle because we have to do so much more that is not really understood.
But they're shifting in those societal expectations too.
Yeah.
There's big shifts recently.
I mean, sometimes we have work after work.
Yeah.
It
definitely.
never
It
ends.
doesn't stop.
It,
Yeah.
it never ends.
Just because
We don't go home and
left the
just sit on
shop,
the
it doesn't
sofa.
mean that we left everything.
Yeah.
We
you
still
got
have to
another
go home.
job.
Yeah.
Making dinner and
Cleaning up and making
That's why
sure
I
the
don't
kids
cook.
go to bed.
That's why I just don't cook.
there you go.
I just eat.
I think that kind of goes though. I mean, part of going to training and making that investment in your business and in yourself is it's uncomfortable, right? You're uncomfortable in that position. You don't know if it's worth it. You don't know if you can make that step forward. We're already uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
That's not new for us. So when
We're on our toes all the time.
yeah,
like
exactly.
constantly.
When that opportunity comes up, it's just that's
Yeah.
what we have to do. There's no
And we
there's
just
no
have
other
to make it
option.
work. Yeah.
Exactly.
But typically, as a woman, I feel like sometimes it's a little bit easier for us to be vulnerable.
Mhm.
It's more accepted,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing because it does put you out of your comfort zone, and that's where you grow the most.
Exactly.
Very true.
And I always want to say, be confident but not cocky,
Exactly.
men and women alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No lie there. Holy cow. Yeah. No. So we were talking about what we would tell females coming in. I think that
Yeah.
is an amazing thing, because even though we have different challenges and battles, we still do get some of that ego going, and
Yeah,
that,
stands in the way.
yeah, no, absolutely. So tell me something. If you could go back, what is something that you would avoid doing this time around for the new people, the new females, even the new males coming in? Tell me something, some pitfall that you would change.
For me, I would definitely tell my past self to be more confident. Don't be scared. Don't think that they're going to look at you differently just because you're coming into this as a woman. When I joined the group, it was just, I believe it was you, Sydney, and Bethany. And that was it. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh. But everybody was just so welcoming that it made me feel like I was going to be okay. I was still scared, but I would just tell myself, like, take it easy on yourself. Like, everybody's so welcoming and loving. Like, there's no reason for you to act like that.
So don't self-sabotage.
Exactly. Big don't self-sabotage. And one of the biggest things is staying humble. Like, make sure you stay true to yourself, true to your values, everything.
I love that. Really.
For me, it's spending too much money. So buying everything, like looking for the next best thing, and yeah,
All
and then
sorts of cool stuff here at Mobile Tech.
yeah, and then you have a whole bunch
Yeah.
of products that you just use this much, and
Yeah.
it's like gone away. So maybe not getting so caught up into that. But if I would have trained before,
Yeah, it's true.
I
Training's
would
a
have
big
known
thing.
what to use and all of that. Like,
So you would definitely say jump into the training.
also, I mean, like, I don't have much stuff near me. I'm from New Hampshire, and there's like not the detail world is different from California or
Mhm.
Florida. It's
It's on
different.
the East Coast. It's way different.
Yeah, it's different. So I
That's
have
what-
to go elsewhere for that,
Yeah,
for
that-
that training, for just everything. So
For me, it's kind of along the same lines, but it's like, stare the fear in the face. I said that in my presentation the other day. And just be confident, get training, just get out there and do it. Don't hold yourself in a box.
Yeah, mine goes back to, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think when I first started, I felt like I had to do all these things, and I had to set this up, and I had to do this, and I had to structure something. And there's so many things that you had to do, and I felt like it was a never-ending battle to get through that to-do list. And I didn't need to reinvent those wheels. Those wheels had already been rolling. I just needed to know those resources. Getting back to what I said earlier, so.
I agree.
Did
all of
she
them.
said.
No, yeah.
Keep what she said.
Keep it simple, stupid. Just
Yeah.
keep things very simple and,
Mhm.
and start with the basics and just grow from there. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. Stay off YouTube.
Yes.
There's some great stuff on YouTube, but the
Yeah.
problem is
Yeah.
how do you filter
Yeah. Getting through all the
the poop from the actual?
Yeah, and sometimes don't follow the masses. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a good one.
What advice would you give to other females coming in? We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but where would you if you could tell them one thing, the most important thing about your business, focus on this, what would you tell them?
I would
Other
say
than getting bigger headphones.
definitely don't be afraid to ask questions and use your resources, like how Jessica said. I mean, I have Chris and Vadim with me at all times, and there's not a day I feel like I know a good amount about the things that we're doing, but I'm still like, there's days where I'm like, I wonder if this would work, but I'm not just gonna go do it. Like, I definitely use them the entire time that we're working together, and I'm like, hey, what about this? So definitely don't feel dumb asking any questions. There's no stupid question, especially if you don't know. Like, there's probably somebody else that doesn't know either, and they're wondering when somebody else is going to ask it.
I think when you're starting out too and you're newer in this industry or you're not necessarily as connected to this industry, it's very easy to kind of feel isolated and alone
Yeah.
in your business, and that you have a competitor down the road and there's this person in your backyard, and you have to stop that thinking right off the bat. Nobody in this industry is a competitor or a
Mhm.
partner with you, whether it's a partner and a resource for when your shop is booked out. I mean, the reality of it is there's a lot of cars in our communities, right? There's no way that we can handle them all. And so I think being able to really take that viewpoint off of the table right away and just really focus on this as a whole, as a community, as an industry as a whole, versus the segregated portion in which you're serving a community, I think is really important.
Mhm.
I have one thing, and girl power, all of this kind of thing. One thing I think is, as far as me personally, one of my biggest issues that I've had, everybody says, get a mentor, get training, use all of these things. Being a female, we already feel like we have something to prove. And one of the hardest things for me as a female is kind of laying myself open and going, I don't know everything. Is it going to make me look weak
Mhm.
if I do ask for help? And so one of the things that I would tell the new females coming in is, even though we're trying to elevate the females in the industry, not to lose the female side of, it's okay to ask for help.
Well, it goes back to also what you were asking earlier. What does a woman bring that a man might not have? That finesse, that fine eye for details. Ride that out. Carry that with you.
Yeah.
Use what it is that we might have that you think you can provide your clientele with, or the industry itself. If you think you bring something to the table, bring it. Ride it out.
Own it.
Own it.
Mhm.
For sure. So one of the things, this kind of goes in conjunction with that, women in a male dominated industry, you don't have to conform and blend in. And this goes back to, I think it was Robin that was saying, feel confident in yourself.
Mhm.
What do you
And I
think?
was going to say that I think that for me, I've had to learn to be my authentic self with my customers, and I might not be for everyone, and that's okay.
Mhm.
I offer certain services, and I don't reduce my service level, and that's okay. I might not get every customer, and I've just learned to be okay with that. I remember, when I first started my business, if somebody didn't book an appointment, I freaked out, and I would think, what did I do wrong? But, so I've just had to learn that I'm going to provide a certain level, and that might not work into everybody's plan, and that's okay. And even if it is that they choose not to go with me because I'm a female, that's okay. I think that there's a lot of males out there that have a lot more competition than probably we do.
Mhm.
I feel like I get customers easier because I'm a female. And so I think that, we just have to be okay that we're not for everyone.
Mhm.
And that word you use there, Diane, of male dominating, that word dominating,
Yeah.
it actually kind of puts us in a weak position. And I think we should stop using that word, male dominated.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
fired.
Typically
Not
male.
you, just the rest of the
I'm
industry.
totally fired. Can I be fired? No. Oh my gosh. So, as far as the business side of things, okay, what do you think is the most important, hint or
Oh, I got one. Ready?
Knowing your word.
yeah?
Trustworthiness.
Okay, love that.
Clients, friends, family, professional, personal, your trustworthiness.
Mhm.
As you mentioned earlier, Chrisabel, they just want to hand keys over to you.
Yeah.
When they meet you and they feel that instant trust and that instant connection, you're golden. You'll
Mhm.
have that client for life.
I think as a business owner, knowing your worth and not charging less because you're a woman, or no, you do a good job too. And that's in itself is a struggle that you have to get out of your head.
Yeah.
I still work on it.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's a big thing.
What about you? I mean, Sydney, so this is completely off topic, but I sat in on Sydney's talk the other day,
Mhm.
and it was so cool because I was looking, at we've been coming to these type of shows for forever, and it's very rare previously to see women on that lineup. Sydney was on there. Miss Tran was. I mean, there was a gal, Susan. The one that- the one that
was
fo-
right after.
Sarah,
Yeah,
Sarah. And it was so cool to see how many women were actually teaching and speaking on that thing. But one of the things that, and this is, this kind of goes on the business side. One of the things, anytime I go to a class, and I'm constantly going to classes, I always try and take little nuggets out. And one of the coolest things that I heard Sydney say is, it's not about pretty, it's about protection. I'm sure I just completely hacked your
You were
quote.
close. You were close.
But one of the things, as a sales kind
Yeah.
of tactic,
Yeah.
I thought, that is so profound,
Mhm.
because I get the question all the time. Okay, well, we live in Ohio and it's really bad weather, and to get get them to sell the exteriors, it's really hard.
Yeah.
I just, and sorry for like squirreling on you, but I just honestly, it kind of goes with the female thing too. It's
Yeah.
not about pretty.
Right.
It's about what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
And so I just
Yeah.
was really impressed
And
with
you know what's
that.
cool about that, about her one-liner, is like women are good at like one-liners.
Yeah.
So she'll hold on to that. She put it in
Yeah.
her presentation. She's
Yeah.
probably used it how many times?
Oh my
with her
gosh, so many
clients.
times. And that's what I was going to say. Like, that's pretty much like, that is my education course. Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty much all I have to
Just
say,
keep it
right?
simple.
Mic
No
drop.
matter what I'm doing, if I'm, talking to them about a full detail or a ceramic coating or whatever it is. And so where I included that in my presentation was that, I live in a town with 4 seasons, and some of the seasons aren't great and maybe not ideal for having your car detailed. But, I just do a lot of education with my customers, and, I just always follow up with, that having your car detailed is not about being pretty. It's about being protected. And, that resonates with people immediately. I mean, I've never had anybody argue that point with me.
Well, and you can apply
Yeah.
that to your entire
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
just gonna
totally.
say.
True. Totally.
Yeah, it's not about being pretty. I'm
Right.
protecting my emotions, my vulnerability.
Right.
Sorry, I
I wish I would have known that
didn't
earlier.
I? Someone say me, please. Anybody? So what's great about having all these great
Okay,
girlfriends.
Diane, how about you? What's one thing you wish you had known?
Honestly, I wish I had known that I had it in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, talks about confidence and all of that. My filter is horrible. I don't
We
know if
love
anybody
you for it.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but I was always so worried about being too extra, like trying too hard to bring up, there's a lot of weight on our shoulders. I mean, like Karen last night being inducted, okay? That comes with a lot. I mean, that it's amazing, but it's very powerful. And so probably my scariest thing was, I didn't, you talk about confidence. I didn't feel like I deserved to have people want me to be that for them. And so for me, that was the biggest thing that I had to overcome is, why would they want to ask me? Like, I mean, look who I'm married to. I mean, he knows more about, why do they want
We feel
me?
your pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like those are some huge shoes.
Yeah.
And that's probably my biggest weakness.
And that's ongoing. So how do you continue to get through that?
She wears big boots.
I wear big boots. Everything's padded. No, I'm teasing. No, you just have to. What is that expression? Make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lie, but sometimes, like your confidence level, you have to mentally go, raw me, let's go, and
We got
Yeah.
this.
build yourself up in the back of your head when you're going, yeah, okay. So, but it's a constant battle for me. Absolutely. So I think it might have been you or no, it's Christabel talking about mentors. Okay. There's some amazing males out there. There's not as many females. I mean, we're limited in number. Finding the right mentor, whether it be male or female. How do you guys go about doing that?
I'll say one thing. You can get a detailing mentor that will help you and tell you how to detail, but sometimes that detailer doesn't know how to run a business.
Mm-hmm.
Or a
And
life.
yeah, and sometimes running a business can be more important than detailing because you can run a detail business successfully without knowing how to detail.
You can be a great detailer, and if you suck at business,
Yeah.
you're not going to get
And
anywhere.
that's a struggle in itself. Like for me, I have confidence in my detailing business wise. No. And that's why I'm part of this group because I get to learn like so much from so many people. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So you would say, so it doesn't, when you're looking for a mentor, you don't have to look at our particular industry. This is,
Yeah.
that was the perfect answer. That's what I was trying to get back is, if you've got a successful realtor,
Even marketing, like
My
so
client,
many things.
I get tips from my clients. I talk to them about business. I have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business people, men and women. Just talk to them. They ask how your business is going. Pick their brains. They want to get to know you. You want to get to know them, where they came from, what they're doing, why they drive a really nice car.
how'd you get all that?
Yeah. Where'd this come from? So just
Are
pick
you
their
single?
brains. You can use. Are you single?
And here we go.
I think the intimacy that's involved with that too, and being able to share that with your client. I mean, that's a client for life. And,
Sure.
and not only that, but all of the referrals that are going to become of that as well, and the relationships that you'll continue to
But you could
develop.
totally lean on a client for a mentorship, even if
Yeah.
it's just one minor thing.
We train every month, right? There has never been a training class that we have had come through where Rennie, or both of us haven't learned something from that person. Here they are coming to us to guide them, and they're guiding us, and to be able to acknowledge that. And we learned something the next class. Oh, so and so said this. Do where it's
Yeah.
you
That's how Rennie learned about moose knuckles.
so knuckles, I forgot. Yep. See, there's definitely something to be learned. And there's
it
even
is
a
on the
wall
wall
for it
forever,
now.
so.
Oh my god. At least it's not just me.
I thought we turned her filter on today.
Yeah.
We have a 2-second delay.
Sydney's going. She's doing the Chris. Oh boy.
Oh, no.
She told me to sit here, and now she's like,
No, it's just I'm trying to make sure I keep my filter
All of us can go down. At least Sydney will be holding us up, going, it's not everybody.
yeah. It's like not me.
Oh my god. So, I just want to thank everybody for doing this. I know, when you ask, it's like, oh God, please, do I really have to do this? And it's so inspiring, and to see like such an amazing group of women that are doing successful things. It's so inspiring. And so it really makes me tear up that you guys would come on this with me.
It's an honor. You asked your mama. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, but I want you to do it not because I threatened you.
We're excited to be back with Mama Bear.
There you go.
You guys would never.
Important for the
Yeah.
next generation too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have my 12-year-old daughter here with me, and she's outside watching this podcast right now on my phone, and just to be able to inspire this into others, not just for
Yeah.
ourselves.
Exactly.
I think that's so powerful.
And I just think it brings a different level of connection between all of us now.
Yeah.
Now we've done this remotely once in person
Yeah,
here at the
yeah.
expo, and it's wonderful. I mean, now we just get to carry that as a memory and growth from there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's okay to watch us on YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the
We're good
good
on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Not
We're on the
the
right
bad
side of YouTube.
That'll go on the title.
Yeah.
We should watch this, not that.
Yeah. Go
There you
this
go.
way.
That's a great title.
One of the things, like Sydney, in her speech the other day, she was showing pictures of her daughter, and it honestly like brought tears to my eyes. And you have your girl with you. It's so cool for these young girls to see their moms thrive and be able to put themselves out like this and be respectable and be somebody to look up to. So, like with your daughter, she can look up at this panel and go, oh my gosh, I can do anything. And it's so sorry.
And you know what's
My
kind of
eyes are
crazy?
leaking.
Oh, I'll let you get your eyes dried. You know what is
Thank you.
crazy about that is when I did my presentation, I presented it to Delaney because she was the only one home. And so I did the whole 45-minute presentation to her. And when we got done, she, we talked, she gave me some criticism and she left and she went to bed. And then she came back in and it was late and I was leaving for the airport the next morning. And she said, Mom, I didn't know any of that. And she meant she didn't know about the struggles. She said, I didn't know. And she was upset. And she said, I didn't know how
Because you
hard
don't-
it was on you.
Because you don't
And
want
she
them
goes,
to know.
I just thought you were a rock star the first day.
Oh.
And I thought that was so sweet because, and that is something like we don't show our vulnerability to our family and our children. And it was hard and she didn't know. And I thought that was very sweet. It was sad, but very sweet.
The power of vulnerability. too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something that everybody should take away from it. Rennie and I were talking about it, and with the male ego and everything, you try and protect the ones that you love from stuff you want them to learn and learn from your mistakes, but we don't take the time to tell people
Right.
what those
That we're struggling,
are,
yeah.
and then it comes back to this. Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my daughter keeps me grounded. Yeah. I'm like, do you know who I am? She's like, There goes her eyes. She's like,
I know I'm humbled real good by my 9-year-old.
Yeah,
so
they're like,
my
okay.
son, like real quick, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go over here then.
Yeah.
I think that's really just powerful about being a business owner as well. I mean, I dedicated 15 years of my life to, a different world and a different side of things. And I didn't raise my daughter. She was raised by daycare or by family members, and I didn't have that opportunity to have that time with her. And this business has allowed us to spend so much family time. I mean, my daughter does school from our shop, so she's with us all the time and exposed to that. And I wish that I would have gone back a little bit before that and involved her more in that life. And same thing, I tried to shelter her from that for so long. And now she sees it all. This is the power of being a business owner, and this is what being an entrepreneur and a leader and being independent is. And I just hope that one day she will see that, and not that first part of her life where
The
it
good,
wasn't
the
there.
bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
I think just watching. I mean, she's just so amazing. Like for her to be able to see that, it's going to put like all of the legwork that we've done and the people before us, like Karen, it's just going to put her that much further. And I think that that's just so gorgeous.
That's what this is about. That was the most, when you invited us to this, that was what I was looking forward to the most. Is not ourselves, but paying it back to those
Yeah,
after us.
exactly.
no,
well,
absolutely.
I think there's power in numbers, and the more of us there are, it's just going to be normal. Not like, oh, you're a girl detailer. No, it's just going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, she details. Yeah, I have a friend that details. And it's just going to be normal. Like,
Don't you think that's the goal?
yeah,
I mean, 'cause
exactly.
every time
I
they
don't-
do like a female panel and all that, I kind of cringe
I
in a
think
little
there-
way, because
there's
I
a
don't
difference-
want to be known for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I think
for
there's a
just being
difference
that.
between being separated into being girl detail or being included.
Exactly.
And
And I
you
think
know.
a lot of us, what we feel is we just wanted to be included.
yeah,
You're
Like
not
we
looking-
wanted to find our spot.
We're not looking for recognition
No.
because we're a woman.
Or
Exactly.
special
Recognition.
treatment or
Yeah.
corners cut,
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I think the men in the industry are open to that. I mean, I've had an experience most recently that, I did have a negative interaction with another male in this industry. And it got to the point where I vented about it on my Facebook page, and just the swarm of males in this industry that private messaged me or sent me a text or called me or reached out. I mean, just for them to hear how they can help us, and that's what we want. We
Yeah.
want to stand alongside you. We want to be your counterparts. We want to
Exactly.
be your partners in this industry, and for them to hear that and then know how to help us and how to change that tone and how to, help us make this easier, right? Either way, we're going to take over this industry, right? Either way it's happening. That's not negotiable.
We've already got the podcast, so let's
Exactly,
go.
right? Yeah. Rennie, do I what?
No, love you, baby.
Oh, wait, we still need him.
Here
I
we
know
go.
it's happening though.
He's got his name on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I don't think Bob will order all new labels.
No, probably not. It's the Sydney show.
No, I was actually thinking of that time we were at that sandwich shop, and I can't remember what the gentleman thought your last name was, but that was so funny. I don't remember what it was. It was something.
That was, yeah, no,
That was funny.
that was hilarious. Well, I just want to thank, I mean, all
for
of
having
you
us.
guys just mean so much to me. And the girls out there that I didn't get to have up here, you know, you're next. But you guys all mean so much to me. And I appreciate all of your hard work and the example that you guys, each one of you are setting is just so epic. And I couldn't be more proud of all of you guys, and I couldn't be more proud to call you my friends.
Thank you.
Oh, I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you for making us come out of our comfort
Yeah,
zone.
exactly. Bringing us out of our bubble.
Well, I mean, to be totally honest, there's a reason that I don't do this either, and it's my comfort bubble is so probably a lot smaller than you guys' because you know I always feel like what do I do my Ricky Bobby? What do I do with my hands? You know, it's like and then I get nervous and like all this
You just
off color
get a
stuff comes
microfiber.
out, and I'm like, oh,
When are we all though?
yeah, no. So it's like, so I appreciate you guys
I was-
supporting me.
I was gonna get a microfiber towel and just start pulling the yarns, but
Oh, I love it.
Oscar didn't get to it soon enough.
See, it's Oscar's fault.
It's always Oscar's
It's
fault.
always Oscar. Well, thank you so much. And, if you like this podcast, go ahead and like it at the bottom and be sure and share it. And thank you guys all so much. And I will go back to the mobile tech. If you haven't ever come to this show, it's an amazing show. So, it's almost over today, but next year, awesome people, awesome products, awesome companies. So
Awesome memories.
networking. Yeah,
Everything.
honestly, that's
Yeah.
the coolest part about the show is actually having time to talk to people and bond. So thank you guys so much. You guys have a
Thank you.
wonderful rest of the trip and safe travels home, and we'll see you soon.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.